well. Did you all have a good Thanksgiving?
No.
No? Really?
I was so sick. So.
Oh, it stinks. Flu, or what'd you have?
Yeah,
That really stinks.
She was hungover.
Nice.
Also. No.
Doing Thanksgiving, yeah. Right. Oh, man. Well, this is weird. I'm a little shy. I don't like shy. I haven't done it
Never
before.
been on the podium. I want to start with the history of the shoulder injury because I know it's been something that did not just happen right Like, so tell us kind of how that's been even over the years.
Yeah, so I've had a labrum, posterior labrum tear in my left shoulder since Auburn, I think. In a Tennessee game, I tore it and just kind of tried to play through it, strengthen it. But during this year, at some point, it just the doctor explained it as the more it subluxes and stuff, the more it just all those tendons get stretched out. In regards to how much strengthening you do, especially with the posterior, like there's no amount of strengthening that'll keep it from slipping out again and again. So he told me, hey, you got to have the surgery. You've already subluxed it, so many times. So, finally to have it 100%, I'm looking forward to when I can start playing again and feel how it feels when I'm playing. But yeah, just been attacking rehab every day. It's a day-by-day process, obviously a long process, but it's going really well. I've got good range of motion right now. So just going for it.
With the history of it, do you feel like there's potentially you haven't been able to really like reach your full potential? Yeah,
you could definitely say that. It's hard for me. It's kind of like I don't know, just because obviously I didn't have it fully healthy, but obviously anything fully healthy is not going to do any worse to you. So to have it fully healthy, and not only that, but be fully confident in it, and not worry about reaching out or going for those vertical blocks. And I still was going for them, obviously, but there was just some times where I couldn't do those certain movements. So to have that knocked out of the way and to be fully ready, I'm going to be ready next year, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Was it a pain issue or an effectiveness issue?
Effect issue. So like every time it would sublux, all the muscles and stuff around it would kind of seize up to where I couldn't like move it for a couple of days. And then another thing is the more you sublux it, the more risk of injury of destroying everything around it. The rotator cuff, the anterior labrum, and so that's why it was necessary.
At practice and things, watching, are you already kind of seeing the game different from just kind of?
Yeah, it's been really interesting. I think for one, I obviously really miss being out there. And I think watching, those guys play and compete, it makes you realize how much you love the sport of basketball and how much like you long for it. But as far as like learning, for sure, I think taking a backseat and watching it to where I'm not actively in the game, it allows you to see stuff more from a bird's eye perspective. When you're not, it's kind of hard to explain, but like when you're fatigued on the bench, you're receiving coaching obviously, but you're not thinking about every little thing or every little thing that everyone's doing. But to see it, from a different perspective, has been huge for me.
Do you think that even helps understanding it from the coach's perspective? So when you get
For sure.
back, you're going to be like, oh, I know how to communicate
Yeah,
with them differently.
no question. Because there's definitely sometimes as a player where a coach will say, you should have been here, did this, but as a player, like I didn't see that at all, because I can't see behind me or what. But to see it from a different perspective, you can definitely see and understand the coach's side of things a little more.
How's the team made you feel a part of the team?
I mean, the first day I said I was getting surgery, or the day of the surgery, basically all my teammates have texted me. I'm still very involved. I show up to film, I go to practice, do my rehab during practice in the locker room. So really engaged with them, and they've been awesome. They haven't made me feel like I'm isolated from the team. They've all been great teammates. We're all still cutting up, still doing whatever. They're not, messing with me as much, on my shoulder. But yeah, it's been really good.
Will mentioned that you've still been pretty positive, after you're going through this. What's allowed you to have that kind of mindset?
Yeah, I think for me, counting your blessings and realizing you have so much to be thankful for is a great way to fight off negativity. And I have a lot to be thankful for. I have an unbelievable circle around me. I have great family, great friends, a great franchise, great teammates, great city. And another thing, like for, not to bring in Taylor, but like a lower body injury, I can't imagine how difficult it was mentally. Even when I was, bedridden, so to speak, in surgery, I could still be like, all right, I'm gonna go for a walk outside after like week 1. But he couldn't go anywhere. He's on a scooter, and that'd be really tough. It's not my dominant hand, so I can still, do everything I need to do with my right hand. So it could be a lot worse. And to have this fixed now, like Sarah said, to know that it's going to be 100%, gives me a lot of confidence going into, the year after this year.
It comes at kind of a weird time for you contractually. It's a contract year,
Mhm.
right? How do you view it maybe affecting your future contracting?
Well, Andy, I'm, like I said at the beginning of the year, I'm not really going to talk about contract stuff. My feelings obviously, haven't really changed. This is obviously, it was frustrating at first, but I think everything happens for a reason. So I'm just going to focus on my rehab right now and attack the rehab with the best intensity I can. And that's all I'm going to be focused on right now. And being the best teammate I can, a different way, obviously, not playing with those guys, but off the court.
Your dad's a surgeon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does having somebody who's a surgeon in your family help kind of understand this stuff, or?
Yeah, no question. No, I think, obviously having another opinion has your best interest in mind. Obviously not that the surgeon that did my surgery didn't have my best interest in mind, but he's my dad, So him giving me the confidence saying like, hey, you need to get this surgery, really allowed me to be like, okay, regardless of how I feel about it, I got to get it. It's going to be better, for the better. And so, I had to do it. It definitely helped, though. Definitely helped.
Because it is a contract year, was there a part of you that thought, no, I should just grin and bear it?
Again, there was no option to do that when both surgeons had told me, hey, you got to get this surgery. So regardless of how I felt, I had to get the surgery.
To be fair, we're not gonna be able to probably talk to you again this year, like in this kind of
Right,
setting.
yeah.
So with the contract, I'm wondering, like when you first get the news, like surgery is necessary, is that something that comes into your mind?
Naturally. Yeah, but you kind of have to boot it right away.
Yeah.
And that's all I'll kind of say on it, because there's no point, regardless of how you feel about it, it's not going to change anything. So you got to move on. Again, count your blessings. There's a lot to be thankful for.
What's your understanding of kind of when you're gonna be able to do sort of more in
Mhm.
terms of rehab? Like what's the process gonna be like there?
Yeah, so there's different phases depending on timetable. So right now, I think I'm in phase 2, and depending on, it's like 8 to 12 weeks. Then they start incorporating certain movements, out in front of your body, more far away from your body, and then after another, certain amount of time, they go into phase 3, which is a whole nother deal. So we have a timetable. It's obviously not like exactly like this, but there's just certain parameters they have to meet before moving on to the next phase. But right now, I'm doing really well, feel great, moving well, feels good. So just continuing to take it day by day.
When do you think that you're gonna be able to travel with the team?
I don't know that yet. That's not just a personal decision. That's a team, a lot of stuff that goes into that. So
Was there a target month for you to be fully clear?
not right now, no. For me personally, I just want to be 100% by the time the off season comes, so I can really hit the off season ready to get back to work.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank y'all. Good to see y'all as well.
Oh, I do have really, really important question. A lot of downtime, so.
So I started the stand.
Yeah.
I did, yeah. I started the stand. I'm not gonna lie, it's
big.
a lot.
It's huge.
It's a lot. Just like I don't know which characters I'm supposed to like remember, and then it'll be like, yeah, like it'll go like a whole like 3 chapters about this one character, and be like, yeah, but he died. And it's like, okay, why do I need to know about that? But, it's world building. I get it. So I've been doing that. I got a Lego set. Which I'm doing Borough, the High Sauron, Lord of the Rings Tower. So I did Rivendell this summer. So I'm doing that one now. I know, it's sweet. It's like 3 feet. It's crazy. So I'll do that. Watching movies, hanging out with people, family, friends, come out. That's really it. Go for drives, especially with the Christmas lights now, go and listen to music. Weather's been, there was one day it was really pretty, it was nice, cool, but it was blue skies, it was really good. So no, spirits are great. Like I've been finding my time. Once I like can start like going like this with my left hand, I'll probably start to get back into guitar too.
When we start actually getting into Dark Tower, I want a regular.
I know, I will.
Okay.
Trust me. Because that looks like that big stand.
Well, I mean, the first one of the Dark Towers.
The next ones are great.
Thank you.
That's good, everything.
But I don't think I'm gonna do the whole like read the first two and jump to this. I just want to read the stand first, and then I'm gonna read the Dark Tower.